New Zealand, like, deep dish, dude.
Yeah. Deep dish. You are listening to the Bomb Hole.
Bomb Hole Podcast.
It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody.
The Bomb Hole.
That bitch is crazy.
Okay. Here we are. Another day at the bomb hole. We got the usual suspects. We got myself. We got Stony Buds.
What's up?
How we doing, Buds?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, you hyped for the guy we got in the seat over here today?
Pretty exciting character right here.
Yeah, we got Zak Hale, a.k.a. Hailstorm. How we doing today, Hale?
In the booth. Here at the bomb hole. Sweaty palms. A little nervous.
Mom spaghetti. Bombing on my T-shirt already.
Here with the boys.
Eminem 8 Mile.
Here to talk shit for an hour and a half.
You got sweaty palms over this, huh?
You guys got sweaty palms.
I know. It was kind of the intro was playing. I was like, I'm kind of sweating right now.
So you're kind of like the Temecula Inland Empire kid, right? Cali kid?
Yeah, 909.
909.
Got it till I die.
Ooh. Yeah.
Big Bear, San Bernardino, not Temecula.
Yeah.
It's more the dirt bike scene.
Okay. Monster Scratch fucking fits nicely in the 909 area code.
Yeah, the Monster Scratch is huge in the 909.
It's an aphrodisiac over there, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Lifted truck, monster wrap, dirt bike in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not going dirt biking just to the grocery store, but still got it in there.
Listening to Little Xan or something, the Inland Empire's
I
anthem.
feel like it was like Blink 182 back then. Blonde girl in the passenger seat with extensions.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
always puffy tongue etnies.
Oh, just some fatties. Some DC Mantecas or something.
My God. The fact that I made it
we-
out of there.
Yeah. You know what we got to talk, though, is I just want to go right into Midget Mafia.
Oh, yeah. Midget Mafia. I mean, that was a crew of us, and
What age group?
we were... I want to say it started when I was like 9 years old, and it kind of had its heyday from like 9 to 12, you know?
It started that young at 9.
I mean, we were all so young like during that time, and it kind of started out with Anthony and Lenny Mazzotti's mom, who was like kind of like the ringleader of it. You know, she was like make us these jean jackets with like Midget Mafia on the back and a bunch of like 9-year-old kids running around in like oversized clothes, snowboarding, and it kind of started off with that, and then we all started to grow up a little bit. And then it kind of turned into us just terrorizing the mountain. Like, it was
Big Bear,
in us throwing snowballs at people off the lift. And
You're already good at 9? You're already pretty... You guys
You were
are all,
sponsed, right?
Yeah, you were like sponsed
Were you
doing
sponsed
this?
at that point?
yeah, I was,
9 years old.
yeah, I was getting stuff from Sessions, and Nidecker was giving me boards at the time. And all of us, it's kind of funny because all of us there's just a group of kids that were all getting all this free product and stuff, and we all hung out together in Big Bear, and it was definitely an interesting time. It was fun.
Can we talk about the fits? I mean, we're talking like 9-year-old kids wearing like giant Tech 9 jackets, giant Tech 9 pants, like looking like Junior Bacon Bradshaws. It was just like incredible.
Junior Bacon.
Well,
that's
yeah,
the-
then that's like, so then that, it kind of evolved, and then Tech 9 came into the picture, you and Cole,
Yeah.
and then, saw us, and we all started getting these just ginormous Tech 9 fits.
We didn't, we didn't make smalls.
I remember I had this yellow jacket,
Oh,
yellow
I
bumblebee
love the
jacket,
yellow.
and I wanted it so bad. And you guys had a rep. His name was Chicken. Sean
Oh,
Sims
Chicken.
Neal.
Shouts to Chicken.
And he had one yellow jacket, and I was like, I want that. I don't care what size it is. It was like a men's medium or something.
Yeah, that was
and
the
I'm
smallest
probably,
we made back then.
I'm like 5 foot. It's like down to my knees riding around bare.
You guys look good.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And all of us, and we all had these crazy baggy fits.
It was so Did you guys idolize Bradshaw?
Oh, yeah.
It
I mean,
seemed like-
Bradshaw was like the guy in
Yeah.
Big Bear. It's like you look at him ride, and, and he was down with us. So it's like, of course, we're like, that's like, he's so good. It's kind of
funny
funny.
guy.
My dad actually paid Bradshaw to be my coach.
Shout out to Ronnie Hale.
He was like, this is when my dad was still living
To
down
be your
there.
coach.
To be my coach. It was so funny, I want to say he paid like Chad Tarbell.
Hey, Bradshaw, we're going to need you to take little Hale in his yellow jacket and teach him some of these back tails at a young age.
It was so funny. Of course, Bradshaw's like, oh, I mean, yeah, I'll take your money to, snowboard with you.
Yeah, he's
kid.
not going to think twice about that.
I don't really think he coached me at all. It was kind of like,
You didn't really come from like means so much, right? It's not like you're like loaded your family growing up, right?
No, not at all. I mean, my mom and dad are definitely like, they're well off, you know. I mean, they did well. My dad is a businessman, and but I mean, it's not like they were, you know, sending me to some private snowboard academy to go snowboard. And it's like, I mean, he was paying Bradshaw probably a couple $100.
Yeah, that's actually maybe that's the way to do it. Is actually fuck a snowboard academy. Just give Chris Bradshaw $200.
Yeah,
yeah, you
probably
know,
cheaper. How were you getting up to the mountain at 9 years old?
I mean, well, at that time, like I was still in school, and I would just go on the weekends with my dad, and he was kind of like the soccer dad behind me on skis, you know, following me around, yelling at me, back five.
He was one of those guys.
I heard like a back tail story back in the day.
Oh yeah, I mean, like obviously it's like, you know, you get stuck on one trick, and when I was younger, it was like mine was the back tail, or it was like the back zeech that everyone did, you know, the Jamie Anderson special.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
Get real low, squat.
You know, like Zach Leach, like you know, get all low on it.
Oh yeah,
and,
those were hot.
You know, and that was kind of like my signature, and my dad got all hyped on that, you know, and he was like, back tail, you know, and
sit on that back from Meyer.
You sit on it. You know, so it was like, of course, all these people are around Bear, and it's like this little kid with his dad falling behind skis, sit on it.
Oh my god,
so legendary.
And then that came about with, I think it was Keegan Valleca who gave me the nickname Zak Hale, back tail. It just like, you know, it's obviously just works perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and then that just caught on like wildfire. I mean, I still hear that sometimes. I'm like, fuck. Like,
it's kind of like, it's like Reynolds has the front side flip. It's like Zak Hale's got the back tail, and it rhymes with his name.
And I had to sit on it, back tail. You know, I mean, even to this day, I'll do that trick. I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't like do a back tail, you know, because I think about the like, you know, the like on a flat box, like little kid bobblehead helmet, like just like ass is literally on the tail of your snowboard.
And then you kind of came up. You were like destroying the rail jam game, right?
Yeah. So, so that was like when I was 9, and then obviously, I mean, fast forward period of time goes on. I was 12 years old, and my mom and my dad got divorced, and then my dad kind of was out of the scene after that, or not. I mean, I don't want to say out of the scene, but you know, he moved to Northern California and kind of did his own thing. And I was with my mom down in Big Bear, and shout out to my mom for staying in Big Bear for me. You know, like I mean, she hated it there, but it's like, you know, she wanted me to stay there for snowboarding, and then that season, I definitely think I kind of just like took my aggression from my parents getting divorced.
Oh, yeah.
And I put it into like my snowboarding, you know, and that was it. And that was the year I won like every amateur contest you could possibly win when you're that age, like all the Vulcan PBRJs, like, you know, USASA Nationals. Like I won the slopestyle contest at USASA Nationals, you know. Yep. So I feel like that definitely kind of was like my start right there, because and that was the first year my dad was gone. I was able to kind of do what I want. Like I was able to wear what I wanted, and like, you know, I T-bolted my stance, thought that was cool. Like, you know, I was like,
that was cool.
Like I was like able to express myself, you know, in like my own way. And then that was like my first year, and luckily, like, yeah, I like came out and like after the winter and had won every single contest I could possibly win. So it was like pretty cool.
What boards were you riding at that point?
I won all the contests on a Nidecker. And then that next year, I met Tonino at the Block Rail Jam, and he's like, dude, we want you on Nitro. Like, and I was 13 at the time. And I remember being so hyped to, like, you know, for him to come up to me at the block, and like this guy with long hair, kind of scary. I heard he's like kind of a gnarly dude, you know, and I'm this little kid, you know, and he's like, dude, yeah, we'll give you boards, like come to SIA, meet everyone, and we'll go from there. And it was interesting, you know, because he's like, oh, well, like, should we deal with your parents at all?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, just like, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me.
You were doing your own contracts. That age.
I didn't have a contract with Nitro at that age.
Yeah. But you were negotiating.
Yeah, but I was talking to people, and then I went to SIA that year when I was 13 in Vegas with Midget Mafia. You know, Denise drove us out there in a van, and it's like we had a hotel room at the Hard Rock.
Yeah,
she was a parental figure for all you guys.
Yeah, and somehow my mom thought it was a good idea to be like, oh yeah, like go to Vegas, go to SIA, and that's the time when, like, you know, SIA in Vegas was like insane.
It was crazy.
You know, and I remember going to the Nitro booth and like meeting everyone. It's like this 13-year-old kid with all these like drunk people, you know. It's like, hey, I'm Zach. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Like,
I'm Zach.
yeah, you know, like I have a photo actually of me and Ricky Melnick standing next to each other at SA, dude. And I have this like this long hair, and it's like it's an interesting photo to see. I'm like, God, I was hanging out with these people when I was that young, and but yeah, and I left the trade show. Tonino gave me 2 boards. I had MFM's signature pro model. It was like a white nitro with like a cross on it, and arrows board because they did like a youth line of pro models. So those are my 2 boards left there, and then yeah, kind of just took off from there with them. And it was funny. I mean, I remember that year I started going to all these events, like these like pro events. Like I went to like the Union Square Rail Jam in New York. I went to the Block Rail Jam in Tahoe, and it's like I'm going to these things like alone. You know,
that's
like,
crazy.
Like I remember
What age?
I mean, I was 13.
13, yeah.
And that's when it was that same year. All that kind of happened at the same time, and that was the same year I got an agent, Todd Hahn from the family.
Oh, Todd was your agent.
Yeah, like you know and then he put me on Monster when I was 13.
You've been on Monster since you're 13.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Wow.
that was my first year on Monster, and I remember they all went to the Union Square Rail Jam in New York, and he shows up with this Monster helmet. It's like, this is like your introduction to like being on Monster. You know, I'm like, fuck yeah. You know, I'm like, yeah. You know, I don't even care about the money. Give me the helmet.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, and you know, my mom puts me on a plane there, like alone, like puts me on a plane in New York City, and
that's crazy. Your mom would just stick you on a plane, dude.
I know, like, you know, I couldn't. I mean, my mom is an awesome mom. I mean, she's like, you know, she's very protective of me. She's always, but for some reason, like the traveling thing never scared her. Like she trusted the people that I was going with, and she trusted me to kind of like, you know, mind my P's and Q's and be responsible. But I remember the New York thing she was not very happy about, because I flew to New York without her, and she didn't like that. And then Todd Hahn was supposed to pick me up at the airport.
Oh shit.
You know, and
That's
then like
harsh.
wasn't there. I don't know what happened. Like I want to say his like flight got delayed. Like wasn't his fault, you know. So then I'm like, oh, okay, well, and I took a taxi from LaGuardia to like downtown New York
That's
City.
a scary place.
Yeah, like you know, 13-year-old a board bag in New York City,
like just long lettuce locks flowing, like Fat Sessions jacket down to his knee.
Yeah, went to New York City, got on Monster, was super pumped about that, and then rolling into that next winter, I was kind of, you know, still on Nitro, but then met Dave Downing at Big Bear, and that's when Analog was trying to, you know, really kind of make a push with like new younger riders. They put me, Alex, and I want to say Alex Andrews. They put Alex Andrews on it, and then Ryan Paul. But it was weird because I wasn't on Burton yet. I was just on Analog. So I went on a rail trip to Salt Lake with Blotto and Alex Andrews, and that's when I met Blotto and that whole squad. And I think Blotto left that trip kind of like hyping me up a bit.
Yeah, he took a liking to you. I remember.
Yeah, and
hearing
like,
that from him.
and that was like my first rail trip, and I was just so hyped to be on that trip, like shooting with him and, you know, doing that. And then that was definitely, I think that was kind of the trip that solidified my position with Burton, because then that next summer I remember working out my deal, and then I went into that winter at 16 on Burton and Analog, because at first it was like, you're just on Analog riding Nitro boards, and then kind of had to make the call to Tonino, and I was like, hey man, gonna ride for Burton now.
Let's talk Cheddar Bisque.
Yeah, does Burton like
How much money are we talking?
come with some money?
No, my first year riding for them, it was like, dude, it was peanuts.
You were paying them basically.
It was like $12,000 a year. I mean, which is like still a good amount of money when you're
$1,000
that
a
At
month.
16.
Yeah, see, I mean, yeah, but it's not like some crazy.
balling
You know,
when you're
it's,
16.
it's not
Balling
like
at
you know, it's
16,
not like
dude.
$50K where you're like, and you know, I had a Monster contract at that time, and it was like Monster contract was pretty nice.
Oh,
you know?
they were already paying you as well. At
I mean,
16.
dude, yeah, I mean, they started paying me when I was 13, like right when I got on. It was like, I want to say it was like $20,000 a year when I was 13.
At 13.
Yeah, I had my own bank account, my own credit card. You know, it's like-
Crazy. 13's a baby.
yeah, I mean, it was.
I'm not even surprised that's even legal to be giving that to you.
Yeah, I mean, I had a bank account. I just remembered it was like,
Because you were doing your own contracts, right? So
yeah. Well, Todd was doing those contracts for me at that
okay.
time. But so yeah, fast forward, I was 16 on Burton, and you know, I feel like they kind of didn't have a lot of faith in me at the time, because they were like putting on Ethan Dice, and it was kind of like me and Ethan competing a little
who the
bit.
street guy
You know,
is.
because Ethan came out with that part, and he was like, you know, back 3 nose pressing on the down ledges. And, you know, I'm like, oh God, like
I remember that.
I don't have that. You know, I don't have those tricks.
Is
So
he the same age as you? Or a little older?
he's like a year older than I am. But, you know, so he was kind of the main focus at the time on Burton, and I kind of just like weasel my way in there. You know, Dave Downing really had my back, and Blotto, so I think that helped. Brian Knox was like the team manager, and Zach Dalton at the time. And then like they had my back too, but they were definitely like horny for dice, you know. But so yeah, it was me, Ethan, and Alex Andrews all on Burton at the same time. And then rolling into that next winter, that's when we made, that's when they did Standing Sideways, and they gave me the opportunity to film for that. And that was kind of my first like big video project I got to film for. It was pretty crazy. Like Ethan and Alex had been filming for it all winter, and they didn't really put me into it very much, like because they didn't know like what I was capable of doing. And then, yeah, I got a call in like February. It was like, hey, do you want to go on a trip with Jeremy Jones? A rail trip? Like, yeah, I mean, sure. You know, so I took a red-eye flight that next day, and then went to Madison, Wisconsin, and that was like my first real rail trip with like Burton and with Jeremy Jones. It was like, you know, being a little kid. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're my hero.
Did he accept you?
Yeah, he was so dope. It was just me and him, or him and I. Like it was just dude, it was just us two. It was crazy. You know, I'm like, you know, pulling bungee for Jeremy Jones. You know, and like,
so he had to accept you. You were all he had.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing, you know, going from like riding bear to being like, okay, you're on a rail trip now with Jeremy Jones. Here you go, thrown in the mix. And I kind of feel like that was kind of another little proving test for me. There's a lot. I feel like Burton kind of does that with young kids. They kind of put them through these like hoops, you know, and it's like if you make it through all of them, then it's like, okay, you're solidified. And that was kind of like another one to see if like Jeremy Jones liked me and like Blotto liked me. And, you know, I think Corey Kaniniak was filming. Maybe Gabe LaRue. Gabe LaRue was filming, and Corey. You know, and it was kind of like, okay, let's see how this kid does. Like, here you go. Like, he went on a trip in Salt Lake with Blotto and his friends. Like, okay, we'll give him another chance.
It's all a big test, huh?
I left that trip, like, got a bunch of shots. I was, you know, Jeremy was cool with me. I was definitely scared Jeremy wasn't going to like me because I just heard that he's very selective of, like, people he likes and doesn't like, which is, you know, very fair. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people are like that. And once you get to that age, it's like, I don't, like, need to like you.
So then after you filmed the first part with Standing Sideways, then your contract was up. And then that next contract was probably pretty good, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, it was 2-year deals. I want to say, yeah, if I like, there was something in my contract, if I met these incentive bonuses, the next year it was like really dope. And I remember being in Mount Hood, Oregon at a Burton shoot and looking at my bank account, and I was like, whoa, like that was way more than I got last month. Like, what happened? You know, and I called the financial lady at Burton. Her name's Karen. She's an amazing person that works there. Like, she's a savior for that whole side of it. And, you know, I was like, hey, did you guys make a mistake? She's like, no, you met all your incentives in your contract, and now this is your new payment every month. And I was like, that's
wow.
Nice. You know, it went from like, because it was like $1,000 a month, and then all of a sudden it was like, I want to say it was like $3,000 a month or something. Like, dude, it tripled almost. Yeah. Like, oh, this is okay. Like, this is nice. And then that next year was 13. That movie 13 they made, and I remember, and then that was kind of like, okay, you guys are all gonna be filming your parts, like, you know, and then that was like another hoop we had to jump through. It was like, I swear they sent like Ethan, myself, and Alex on a first trip to Anchorage, Alaska in December, and it was like tryouts, like break the pool stick, here you go. Like,
break the pool stick and fight type scenario.
Yeah, straight up.
Who comes out with the most shots wins.
You know, it's like, we don't need 3 rail kids on the team, so here you go. Like, you know, but Ethan always had a solidified part, I feel like, because that was their little like bread and butter. It was like daddy's little golden egg. It was like Ethan Dice and Burton, you know, it was like, oh, we got Ethan Dice. Like, this is like the Midwest, like hot shit. Like, he's gonna be a big deal, you know, and he was. I mean, he's insane.
Yeah. He's incredible.
Insane snowboarder. Like, we went on the first trip to Anchorage, Alaska, and it was brutal.
Cold.
Well, I don't even want to say like being we could have been anywhere, and it would have sucked.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, because that was the first year that like the winch really started becoming a thing. We had this Heine winch and trying to ship this like thing around to Anchorage and all this stuff. And then like Burton had all these new red cameras with gimbals and trying to figure out all this process, you know, and I'm just like, this is like my second year actually filming. I'm just there, you know, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go along with this because I'm stoked to be on Burton and stoked to be here with you guys, stoked to be snowboarding. But dude, that first trip, yeah, it was just like in December, it was dark, it was cold. Like, no one was, I feel like everyone was kind of just like at each other's throats the whole time. And then, yeah, we left that trip, and and then all of a sudden, like the year goes on, but then like Alex Andrews wasn't on the trips anymore.
Oh wow.
You know, and then
Gnarly.
it was gnarly, and like I didn't really get why, and like I remember like him hitting me up and like dude, like I don't know what the deal is, like why am I not on these trips, you know? But and I kind of look back on it, and that's why I said it's like these tryout things. It's like okay, here you go, tryouts, you know. And then it was like Ethan and I on these trips, and then Alex kind of wasn't anymore, and I was like, damn, like okay,
Gnarly.
like I don't know what to say. Like
And they didn't even really tell him why. It was
and I remember that year he was like super confused why too, and I mean obviously like I don't know the whole backstory of why, you know, because Alex is an amazing snowboarder and he walked away on that trip with shots, but it was kind of like, you know, I was like, okay, well, pull straws, boom, Alex, like, you're out.
Well, that era was also a shift in snowboarding because it was like in street snowboarding, people were hitting down bars and down ledges. And then all of a sudden the winch was introduced and it was like, let's build a gigantic cheese wedge into a wall and then take this motorized winch and get pulled full speed across a parking lot. And like, you know, it was just totally changed. It was like not the same type of snowboarding. Yeah.
It was completely different.
And you were pretty good at that style.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, it was like, that's all I knew,
Yeah.
you know, because I had never really like filmed a video part. Like I grew up in Big Bear riding the park, you know, then all of a sudden it's like, I'm on these Burton trips and it's like, you know, winch into this wall type of thing,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I guess like, you know, you guys are at the top, like I'll listen, this is what I'm going to do, you know? And it's like, you always had it in your mind because it was, you know, the bosses, you know, like Brian Knox and Kevin Keller and that squad, you know, it's like Blotto is on the phone with them, telling them how the trip's going, how's this doing? And it's like, you want to just like do good because, and especially when you're that young, it's like, I mean, I didn't know any different. I don't know like what's cool, what's not cool, who, it's like, I'm here with Burton. I've been watching Jeremy Jones snowboard my entire life. This is sick.
Yeah.
You know? And, but yeah, so the winter goes on, and that winter we went to Anchorage, Alaska 5 times. Didn't go anywhere else.
Damn.
Insane.
Insane. And I don't know why. It was just like, everyone just wanted to keep going back to Anchorage and ship the winch, $900 there, $900. Like, dude,
That's
it's
so
like,
crazy.
like we would ship this thing right here, right behind me. This
Yep.
metal box. This is a Heine winch.
Yeah,
and
Pat
like,
Moore gave me that thing.
yeah, and
Shut
that's
up.
how it gets.
Literally, giant winch.
Yeah, that's literally the
That's what that is.
That's what it is. You know, and we would go to these, you can't even ship it normal. You have to ship it like FedEx freight.
Yeah.
So it's like we would
So
go to
gnarly.
these freight places and just have the Burton FedEx number and be like, oh, well, yep, there you go.
There
you know,
you go,
dude, it was
900
like
bones.
so much money put into that stuff. But, yeah, so then that winter, the tryout thing, and then, I mean, I made it past tryouts and then I was on the team, you know, and then that's when everything kind of like took off, was after that year for sure. And Ethan and I shared a part. And that was like my first year going on a premiere tour, like a Burton premiere tour. You know, it's like there was like a month long where it was like different city every night in the US. Mm-hmm. It was like you would land, you'd get breakfast, check into the hotel, put your bags away, go up to the hotel, chill for a little bit, get dinner, go to the movie premiere, party your face after, go to bed at like 3 a.m, wake up at 5, get on a plane, go to the next city.
Yep.
It was like
Every night.
It was like living a rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like
What age?
I was 18 or 19 at that time. And like I had a fake ID. So like, you know, I was like getting into all these bars. I'm like, this is sick. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. Loving
You know,
life.
when I'm young, so I'm like, you know, I have all this energy and like, I could do this. Like, you know, wake up, not hungover, get on the plane. Like, okay, what city are we going to next? Like, this is so sick. And, you know, and there was like, I mean, it was literally a month long of just different city every single night. Like,
Those are gnarly.
it was great. I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, you've been on plenty of them too. Like,
Around that time too is that you got the new contract. Kids started to make some cheddar biscuits, right? Let's
and
talk
then,
about
like-
when you got that. Let's talk cheddar biscuit when you got that fat Burton contract.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
top
trying to
Yeah.
pry and get at.
tier, you
That's
know
what
what I
we
mean?
want to know.
so that 2 year,
People want to know. don't they?
that initial like 2-year deal ended, and then it was like re-up on my new one. And Todd Hahn was still my agent, and at that time he worked for a new company with that dude Ninja. So it's like, you know, it was a real deal. And like my contract came up, and then it was like I saw the number. I was like, okay, this dude. It was like, I want to say it was, I mean, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like $70K.
Yeah.
Like just pay. That's not even like incentives.
Yeah.
And then I had
Oh,
this
that's
like,
just the base rate.
yeah, that's just
Just
the base
salary,
rate. And then
yeah.
like, then their incentives are crazy. And then like the travel budget, I had like
Bottomless.
I had like a $30,000 travel budget a
Jeez.
year. Like
that's hard to spend.
Oh, I mean, I would have to try to spend it.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time, like I'm getting paid from Monster, and then I had like other deals with like, you know, like Skull Candy and
So easily six figures at age 18 or 19.
I was 19, 20, definitely like north of six figures.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And that's hard for a kid that age to deal with. Like, you're a kid, and when you get paid that much, like, I remember, getting paid pretty well in my early 20s. You kind of makes you a cocky prick to a degree. Like it makes
for sure.
It's hard to put it other ways, but you've been getting paid since you're 13, and it's hard to
yeah, I mean, imagine being like, that young kid, like getting a contract when you're 13, and then all of a sudden I'm like 20 years old and I'm making like real money, and I'm like, okay, like, you are gonna think you're the shit.
A lot of your peers, a lot of your peers aren't. Making
I'm like, what up? Like, I can do whatever I want, And it's like at that time, like at that point in my life, like I kind of like, my mom and dad were like, hey, you're making money, like you earn this, you can do whatever you want, And I moved to Salt Lake. I'm by myself. Like this is, I'm whatever, like spending money.
Yeah.
But I never like did the whole like get a fat contract, spend it all in 1 year. Like I've always been very conservative with my money and like putting it away because it's like that doesn't last forever. And I knew that at a young age, which was I'm so grateful for that because like the pounding my dad put into my head was just like, don't spend your money, save it. You're not going to make this money forever. Invest it. Then my dad kind of stepped in. It was like my financial advisor at that time, started putting in a stock market for me and, kind of like gave me an allowance. No, I don't want to say, like, I always was capable of spending it, but it kind of gave me like, okay, this is what you're going to spend,
It's like he saved you from yourself.
Yeah, your dad
he
was
saved
the
me
one
from
who did
myself,
that. That's
100%.
cool.
I mean, I can't imagine, like, dude, I understand now, like, why in action sports or any sport or musicians, and, they make all this money and they don't have any guidance to, like, where to put their money, where to go with it. It's just like, okay, well, this is, I just, here's like $100,000. I'm just going to go
Spend it all.
buy a new car. Why not? I mean, Mercedes is only 60 grand. Like, I'll still have 40 left over, like.
Not even pay taxes. Fuck it.
No, yeah. And then that's the whole other thing. You're like, oh, taxes, what are those? So I was definitely lucky to have like my dad on my side with that, where he's like, you're making money. Like, I'm going to set, like, I love you. You're my son. I'm going to like help set you up.
You would think in high school they'd set aside some time to go over taxes.
Yes,
Dude,
with,
I mean,
with
some
the
kind of
students.
tax.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everyone walks out of there with no knowledge. That's like I know lots of people who have not known they had to do their taxes at that age. And
Yeah, I mean,
that's harsh.
There's a lot of people who are broke because of it.
Yeah.
Who are making a lot of money. And that's and like I said, I can't be more thankful than like my dad having my back on that.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "This is how you're gonna do it." And
Yeah.
you could be a dipshit, but I'm gonna be smart.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely get cocky. Like, I mean, I was making money. I could do whatever I want, go wherever I want, go on these trips. Like,
And you're getting your ego stroked. You're getting flown to premieres. There's lines for autographs. Everybody's like, dude, you're so sick. And you buy into the hype. At times,
it's
right?
like, and at that age, it's like hard not to like buy into it. And I definitely want to say I was never like the cocky
No,
kid.
you weren't.
That was
You
like,
weren't.
it was like,
You
oh,
weren't.
fuck you. Like,
No,
I'm
not
the
at all.
shit. Look at me. Like, I'm making money. I was never like buying flaunty things, but I definitely had like, this stereotype where it was like that young kid making a bunch of money.
Well,
like, that's what it is.
It's hard for your peers that are struggling probably to like put food on their table, and then you're flying first class. Like, the natural response as snowboarders generally are haters. They're going to find that thing, hate it. If you didn't have a contract, they'd be like, fucking Hale's sick. But since you're flying first class, you're like, I don't fuck Hale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's
I think
like,
that's a thing.
like there's people worrying about like trying to make their monthly rent, and then like I'm more worried about like my airline status. For it's like, oh, I got to make $100K on United this year. Spending like 20 grand a year on an airline. Everyone's like, and then I got the nickname 100K Hale. It's that didn't help anything.
International
at all.
update.
And I'm like, of course, Instagram comes out, and I'm like, lie flat seat to like Japan, boom, photo. Like rubbing it in people's faces, because it's like, I mean, I don't want to say I was trying to rub it in people's faces, but I was like, yeah, I'm living a dope life.
Fuck
Look at
yeah.
me, Like,
Did you get some animosity from your friends then?
I don't want to say my friends.
No.
I mean, like, my friends have always had my back because they know like who I am as a person. But I definitely get why I've like come off as like 100K Hale. Like,
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna set the record straight right now of when I realized that Hailstorm yourself is one of the realest humans I know. And I'm going to fast forward to a little story where we were in Annecy, France, and it was back when I used to drink. We were at that film festival. I got absolutely shit-faced, okay? And we were cruising around, And I ended up going under this velvet rope to like this private VIP area to try to cut the line for a beer, right? And I'm sitting in this area, and it's all people in like suits, and I'm like a scrub, fucking burnt toast snowboarder looking guy, right? And I start getting pushed around. I'm a little browned out. It's a little blurry. I don't remember, but all I know is that I was getting fucked with heavily, and Hale came up there and had my back, which resulted in basically security coming, from what I understand, Hale getting thrown down the stairs, getting a black eye, and getting maced, and
In
me getting
France.
choked out.
Dude,
all for having my fucking back. And that's why ever since then, I've realized Hale will ride for his dogs, and he's a fucking real one.
Yeah,
Straight
that's
up.
a rare quality, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have turned the other way.
yeah, I got
Turned
like,
an eye.
Dude,
and I was like pretty young at the time, and I'd kind of been like going to the gym that summer. You know, it was like my first summer of like kind of bulking up a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, like saw Chris getting fucked with over there, you know. And I wasn't really trying to start anything. It was more of just me trying to grab you because I knew how drunk you were, and they were kind of like, I remember they were like pushing you, and I went to like grab you to kind of get you out of the situation, and I got like sucker slapped from behind in the eye, like palmed, and I was like, oh god, you know. So then I went full back to my 909 roots, turn around, shirt off, in the
ripped
bar.
his shirt off.
You ripped your shirt
Oh, I
off.
took my shirt off because, like, growing up, like, I'd been in a few fights, like, growing up in Big Bear, and it was like, dude, you always get your shirt grabbed and pulled over your face.
Oh,
and,
so
like,
you just
need.
rip it right off.
Oh, I just took it right off, you know, so I'm the guy in the bar, shirt off, like,
Swinging.
Dude, I never even knew why people took their shirts off before a fight.
it's because you get
learned
it pulled
something.
over your head. And
Yeah,
you need it
and
in the
then they
face.
start punching
Yeah,
you.
and,
So you're swinging.
you know, when I'm swinging, there's like 8 of them. Obviously, I'm going
All
to get
bouncers,
beat.
huh?
No, these weren't the bouncers. These were just some freaking French, like, you know,
Fox.
Guido think they're sick. Like, some like Ralph Lauren wearing, smelling, having ass. Like, and then, you know, so, and then all of a sudden, I just feel this arm that's just the size of a log grab me by my neck. And I was like, okay, bouncer. Throw my hands up. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, you didn't wanna
Just
fight
take me
those
out. Let me
guys.
go. Like, take me home. You know, I'm getting drugged through the bar. I'm like his little play toy, just getting dragged out, thrown down the stairs. There's like a set of 20 stairs up to the bar. I get thrown
They
down
just
it.
threw you down 'em.
Literally just threw me down, but to get picked up by another bouncer by the shirt, and then another one comes around and just literally puts a mace bottle this far from my eyes, sprays it, and I
Really?
just, dude, I dropped
was
dead. Like,
fucked up.
I was, have you ever been maced?
It's not.
Yeah, it
It's-
sucks one time.
It's the worst thing ever, and to be that close to it, I thought I was blind. I
Never
was
like
I'm
that. I
done.
just caught some fluids from like someone else getting maced. I think like I didn't even get the real.
Yeah, I got it
You were like,
right to the eyeballs, and then and then they felt kind of bad about it afterwards. They're like, "Oh, like you're here. It was a monster party." And then I go, "You're like a monster athlete, and we just like annihilated you." You know, like 0 chance of survival.
Totally.
I didn't know it was a monster party.
That was a crazy night. Then remember, like me, we went up to like Danny
Dingo.
and Dingo, Danny Cass and Dingo's room. We're just like so heated. We're like, "Fuck this."
Shout out to the Dingo though, because the Dingo that night was like on our, like we were like, fuck these, like Dingo had our back super hard. It was actually like ever since then I've always been like, I fuck with the Dingo, dude. He's
Dingo's
sick.
He's the man. And then I feel like that's too, like, you know, and then like Danny Cass like had our back too.
Yeah, he had our back. Yeah,
I remember
we
that's-
were in his room after. Yeah,
And then like Danny and I like got kind of close. I don't want to say close, but like we were like homies after that. And like I remember I went on a few like trips with like vacation trips with him. And,
Nice.
like, it's like, you know, and then all that was happening. I'm like this young kid, and it's like, oh, I'm like in Europe during summer with Danny Cass right now, just hanging out.
So
You know?
sick.
Like
Yeah.
this is so dope.
crazy life.
But
Crazy
yeah,
life.
I got your back.
Dude, you had my back crazy. And I remember, the only thing I remember, because it's a little blurry, is I was getting choked out, like elbow around my neck by one of the bouncers, getting dragged down the stairs, just going, fuck yeah! Like at the top of my lungs in front of
everybody.
every one of our friends.
You know, it's like that was like the time in snowboard. It's like Eddie Wall, Dingo, Danny. You know, it's like Chris and I. They're like, who the fuck?
These guys are maniacs.
Like, look at this, like
But-
21-year-old kid with his shirt off, right?
Yeah, straight up. And that's when you realize like who your real friends are, who's gonna ride for you. It's like if anybody ever like talks shit on Hale from that point on, I'm like, dude, he's the realest dude. Like he's straight up, you know, rare.
I got my friends back, dude. I mean, I'm not like, I'm very selective with like my good friends, but like I have my friends back. So like, don't like, we'll never not.
Great quality. Then us three, fast forward a little bit, we went on a hell of a trip.
Which trip?
Lithuania.
Oh, Lithuania. I forgot both you guys were there.
That was crazy.
That was
too.
a wild trip.
Yeah,
that was
was
like
a great trip.
That was like the time where it was like the mags needed stories, and
Yeah.
like it was like, where are we gonna go? It's like
Let's go
Lithuania.
somewhere
I was like,
dope.
where the hell is Lithuania? Hey, Mom. So I'm gonna go on a trip. I'm going to Lithuania. You know, they're like, oh, okay, have
True,
fun.
the Eastern Bloc, man, those cities are pretty dope, and they rarely get snow anymore too. So it's good we went there. I don't think they've gotten snow since.
They're crazy. That plane flight back still to this day was one of the worst plane flights of my entire life because
Jesus
we partied
Christ.
the night before.
I'm right with you on that one.
We were banged up.
Remember we
big time.
brought our bags to the bar and like went straight from the bar to the airport. Remember we were in that shuttle
did-
bus? It's like we get out at the airport and there's like still girls in the van.
What girls?
Yeah, we didn't
was no girls.
we didn't
I mean-
sleep. We didn't like. I remember we didn't sleep. It was a full. There
It
was
was-
other substances involved for
Yes.
myself personally. I
That
remember.
was a rough flight.
And I remember in front of me, Dylan Thompson was sitting middle in front of me, and he was bobbleheading onto, like, he would like bobblehead over and like lean his head on the person next to him, and I'm like, the poor guy, like, he probably smelled like a fucking dead person.
Oh, you
like,
probably hadn't showered all week.
You know, you know, I didn't have I just had the like alcohol hangover. You know, I didn't know what I mean, I was too.
You don't know what type of hangover we had, huh?
Yeah, like I was still, yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, and I remember like, dude, the flight, like it was like Lithuania, Frankfurt to, I don't know, the States. And I remember just falling asleep, waking up in Frankfurt on the plane. I was like, I can't move. I remember like everyone was off the plane and I was the only one
You're
in
like
my
calling
chair.
for a wheelchair?
And, yeah, and the lady, and you know what, I don't remember how old I was. I was like 22, 23, whatever. But, you know, in the flight attendant's like, you gotta get off the plane. I was like, I literally can't, like the thought
You
of
like
me,
really couldn't move.
I was dead. The thought of me having to get on a like 12-hour flight to the States right now.
that was 100K Hale era, though, I feel like. Now.
Yeah, and you know, 100K Hale, I got the lounge and took a shower. Hit a JO in the shower. Called it.
That'll really
All of a
make you feel
sudden,
better.
you're back on track. He's
Wait,
like, all right, I'm in
That's
the lounge.
scientifically proven.
Yeah, you're like,
cure a hangover.
I mean,
I
it's-
read about that in an article.
It has
For real.
to. I mean, how
It
many
does.
times you JO and you're hungover? Like, this is the only thing that's
Yeah,
gonna make me feel
dude, it
better
actually,
right
like,
now.
Mandatory.
Your brain cells are like swollen. There's some science to it, and actually, the release actually shrinks them, shrinks your brain cells back down, and you're like, it's scientifically proven to cure hangover.
God, I love a good release. I love a good release.
just a heavy release in the Frankfurt bathroom.
One time
At the
for me,
Lufthansa status lounge.
Those things do not bring a black light into the Lufthansa
I
bathroom.
mean, think about how many of those business guys that were just in there
Are
just
just
going to
doing
town. Look, I haven't seen my wife in 3 weeks, and even when I'm home, she still doesn't like me.
I had to do it on a Japanese bullet train once. And if I hadn't have done it, I would not have made the flight home.
it would not have survived. I would not have
would have
survived.
died.
I've never hit the plane, J.O. That's a pretty crazy.
Oh,
move.
yeah. You got to check that one off.
I've never even shit on an airplane.
What?
Never.
That's like a regular
on,
thing.
I can't,
What?
dude. It's
How?
like, I don't know.
You can't shit. You definitely
gotta
can't
let
JO.
I've almost flown like 1,000,000 miles. I've never
You
shit
literally
on an
never
airplane.
shit on one of those
No.
14-hour flights.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I just don't have. Dude, I've done one of those flights before and not stood up once.
Just
In it.
Well, when you get the
Comatose.
lay flats,
Well, even back of the bus middle seat, like I'm just like, get me off this thing.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was like my cocky phase of like, look at me, like look how sick I am. I got all this airline status. Like at the end of the day, you're just really a loser because it's like, oh cool, you sit on an airplane a lot. Like, then good for you, man.
Well, the only people that appreciate that are the other losers.
Exactly.
Stuck
It's
on
like
the planes.
you're like, you know, you're flexing nuts in the airport. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
get to skip past all the other poor assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this young kid with like a beanie, you know, walking past all these guys in suits and stuff. And I'm like,
And
man, I'm
they always
gonna
want to double check you.
lie flat button and 2 mimosas too while you're at it, please. Can we make those a little quick?
So then kind of changing gears though, like you were on Burton for a while and then eventually kind of shit hit the fan, right?
Yeah, I mean that whole like that. And there was a lot that led up to that like point in my career. You know, there was a lot of like fun trips with Burton and like all these parties and this rock star lifestyle and the, you know, the classic what they call the Burton bubble.
Yep.
You know, and like when you're in the middle of the Burton bubble, you're like, this is awesome. I get to do what I want when I want, travel when I want, go to all this stuff. But yeah, fast forward and then, you know, like anything, everything doesn't last forever. And it's like I got the phone call one day and it was like in June of I don't know, 2016 maybe,
Yeah.
probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And it was Frankie Chapman. He's like, dude, he's like, I don't know. Like, they don't want to re-sign you, you know? And I remember I was like, what? You know, it's like when that stuff happens, it's like, you know, everyone always talks about it, but then when that day comes, you're like, you know, you're like, I don't know what to do now. You know, it's like, hey, I gotta have a month left to like figure it out. And, yeah, it's like that phone call is definitely a crazy one. And like everyone goes through it though. It's like, that's what you got to remember. It's like every single, like you choose this career, it's like this awesome career, but it's like those phone calls come.
It's going to happen. Yeah. And you were on them how long? 10 years?
Yeah. I was on like 9 or 10 years. I got on when I was, 15, and then that happened. No, I was 14. Yeah, 14, 15 when I got on, and I think I was like 23, 24 when when it stopped.
The call came.
I will say, when the way you handled that was incredible. Like it was so graceful, because you see people get cut time and time again, and they're just spewing like, fuck this company, I did all this for them, they fucking fired me, fuck the TM, fuck it. Like there's so much hate that spews out of them. But I remember talking to you right after you got cut, and you're like, dude, like these guys did a lot of stuff for me. Like I'm so thankful for all these awesome times I had. Meanwhile, when you're Burton, you're head to toe. It's not like you lose your board sponsor, your boot sponsor. They're all separate. You lost everything.
Everything.
And you took it like
that's a good point.
So in stride, and you're like, dude, I'm real thankful for what happened. Like you didn't speak badly on anybody.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, dude, Burton's bought me, you know, houses. You know, it's like they've set me up for like.
Probably had a lot of money saved up too, right?
Well, dude, yeah. I mean, I was saving money like crazy, because like I wasn't buying dumb things. I never bought cars. I never bought jewelry. I never bought you know, the only thing I was spending money on really was like, you know, partying.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not in like casual partying, like in like real life things, but yeah. And then that happened, and like, you know, it's just. You got to remember, it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'll be forever grateful that everything Burton did to me. I mean, dude, it's like giving me some of the best stories of my life was with them, and like all these trips going to places and
traveled the world.
And, you know, and my dad always told me growing up, he's like, you know, just never speak badly about people and like our companies, because you never know when that's going to come back to you. Like, I mean, what company was going to want to sign someone after like you go out and like start talking all this shit on a company? Like, oh, fuck Burton, fuck this, you suck, they suck, you know, and then a company comes in, it's like, we're not going to sign you. Like what? So like when we have to drop you in 5 years because you're getting old, you're just going to roast us? Like, we're over it.
You're only 25 though. You weren't even old.
Yeah, no, I was, at 24, 25. And like, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's tough not to like, the easy way out is to just go on the internet and start just talking shit. And it's a very like, it's the low road, you know? It's like, 'cause that's an easy thing to do, is like take all your aggression and anger out on this situation that happened to you that at the end of the day, no one really gives a shit about.
Yeah, I'm backing your decision to handle it like you did.
Yeah, like it doesn't affect anyone else. You're just making yourself look like an asshole. It's like, okay, this guy's a loser. Like, you know, you're judged as a person by how you get back up from something, not like when you're at the top, like making all this money. You know, it's like how you handle yourself when you're at the bottom to get back up is like, I think how people should like. How you should look at yourself and be like, okay, I want to be the best possible person I can right now, because this is something that people are going to remember.
Yeah.
And in my situation, it was crazy how I got dropped with him too. You know, it's like, I remember like talking to the team manager about it, and I was like, why did I get cut? Like I was doing my job. I was doing everything fine. Like, you know, and like, I thought, you know, I remember having conversations with my agent. It was like, oh, do they want you to like be the next Jeremy Jones? Like they want you to be on forever. And I was like, you know, when you hear all these things, you're like, I'm solidified. Like my position is solidified, you know, but you never want to get that confidence, because it's not in life, in anything, in anything.
I agree with that.
In anything. It's not just snowboarding. And, the situation, how I got dropped, it was like, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, because I haven't heard it from the person who made the decision to take my number out of their chart, you know, but, we had like, they were doing like those web series, like, and ours was, Ethan and I's was called Street Meet, and like we're street riders, and then their idea was for us to go to
Sounds like something you'd find in the Lufthansa lounge before a flight home.
Yeah, you know, so it's like I'm all on my high horse, like, oh yeah, Street Meet, okay, I'll go do that. You know, like fuck, like obviously I'm gonna get roasted for this name, but like fuck you, like, I don't care. Like
I'm getting paid.
Yeah, this paycheck's nice. Oh, okay, I'm gonna look for another house. You know, like. So we go to San Francisco, and it's the shoot was us driving around, going all these different like street meat vendors and like eating street food.
Oh, you were actually eating street meat.
So we were actually eating street food, and they were filming this, but what happened was I went to Thailand the week before with my ex-girlfriend. Like, we just went on vacation. She wanted to go to Thailand like every other young girl in the world. I was like, where are you going to go? Southeast Asia. So I'm coming back, and I didn't get any shots or anything to go down there. Just, I'm stubborn like that, and didn't get any of the necessary precautions to like go down there. Come back, I gave myself a day in San Francisco to like recoup, be good for the shoot. I wanted to do good, because that's like, I always like wanted to be professional about this stuff, because I knew they were paying me a lot of money. And
you're talking malaria shots and stuff like that?
I don't know what just like, you're supposed to get like shots before you go down there.
Tetanus?
So
You don't even know?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I mean, you could look it up, but and then I come back, and then we party the first night. And I was like, oh, like, I'm going to party then. We're going to feel fine. And then I wake up the next day, and I was dead. Like, dead. Like, I'd been hungover before. You know, I was like, I knew what a hangover was. Like, I'm not hungover. And I was like, okay, maybe, like,
this is different.
Maybe I have a hangover. I'll try to go on the shoot and, like, you know, fight through it. And, like, as the day goes on, it's like we're eating this street food. You know, so it's like I have this stomach bug from Thailand, and we're eating street food in San Francisco. So, literally, I would eat food, throw it up, eat food, throw it up, eat food, throw it, because I wanted to be professional about it. And it's kind of crazy that no one kind of stepped in and was like, hey, man, like,
yeah, like, you're not all right
you're
right
not
now.
all right. Like, but it was also my fault, because I partied the night before, so everyone just thought I was hungover, you know. And it's like the chances of you getting that sick before the shoot are pretty slim, but I was that person that got insanely sick. And
it happens.
And it lasted for like 3 days. I couldn't do the snowboarding part. And then finally, I think everyone was like, okay, like, he's actually like really sick, you know. But then time goes on, fast forward, a year later, my contract comes up. Frankie calls me, you're not getting re-signed. And then fast forward more to that December at Dew Tour, I was like, dude, why did I get dropped? And he was like, honestly, it was because of that shoot. They were like, we're paying Zach all this money, and he can't be a professional about it.
What? Just because you got some free
Just because I got food poisoning. And, you know, and obviously there was one person who had that decision in his head that he didn't like me because of that shoot.
Who was that?
Randy Torkham.
Oof.
You're fired.
Dude, I just got to say, that sucks. It happens, man. What are you going to do?
I mean, dude, it was crazy.
Especially you had such a great record.
And also at the end of the day, like, you were the perfect fit for Burton. When they like, when I like,
they
obviously
kinda blew
they kill it with Danny D and Mark Mick. Like, there's a solid team.
Yeah.
Burton's sick, but like, as far as Street Dogs, I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing getting rid of Hale? Like,
Yeah.
everybody was thinking that, you know what I mean?
Even this year at Hot Dogs, they didn't have any dudes up there.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's
They don't really
on
have street dogs right
yeah.
now.
I mean, like, Ethan's still on.
Yeah.
And they have some like younger kids coming up, but yeah, it was like, dude, and I heard that and I was like, what? Like, you're kidding me, you know?
Yeah, like that shouldn't
Like,
be
I've done every single little thing Burton has asked me to do with no question, no fighting it, no being like, oh, I don't want to go on a snowboard trip.
Yeah,
I have to,
you're a
like,
professional, dude.
Yeah, it's like, you know, and then that happens and I'm like, that's crazy. And who knows? That might not be true, but that's the story I know, and that's the story that I hold on to.
Yeah.
And then come to find out that guy gets let go or left 6 months later.
6
and I was
months.
just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, this couldn't have been any worse timing. Like, you know, because your life goes from here to there. Like, it just flips, you know? It's like, okay, I need to like make dramatic changes in my life now because I can't afford to be doing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Then another thing is I did this interview with Transworld. I think it was with T-Bird. Yeah, T-Bird hit me up because I was down. He hit me up and he was like, hey, I want to do like an interview with you talking about your snowboard career and then want to talk about this Burton situation because like I kind of like think everyone's a little confused why it happened. You know, and I said nothing but good things about Burton because it is like, dude, they're such an awesome company.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Agreed.
the tools they give athletes to like pursue their dream is like, it's unbeatable. Like, you can't.
Yeah, a lot of other
beat-
brands don't even have that, right?
No, and you know, it's like, you know, Burton has a lot of bad stereotypes about it sometimes, like, you know, people saying bad things about it, but at the end of the day, they provide the most amazing opportunities for people, and I'm so grateful for that. But the one thing that I will talk bad about is I did that interview, said nothing but good things. It was like, hey, no hard feelings, guys. Like, I get it. I'm a number on a balance sheet. At the end of the day, you have decisions to make, and it is what it is. You know, whatever. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll be fine. But not one person from Burton hit me up and said
Really?
thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when you're in it, it's like, oh, your family, we love you. Your family, come to my wedding,
Until
come to
you're
this,
not.
any company. And then it's like, you're out of the circle. It's like, no, not even when I got dropped, like, no one called me. Not one
Really?
person. Like, and that definitely kind of like bummed me out, you know, because it's like, dude, I just like said nothing but good things about you guys. And then I can't even get a courtesy an email.
Yeah, the Burton bubble's real, man. You're not in the bubble anymore.
It's like,
you're out
okay,
of the loop.
I took the high road.
That's the thing that's crazy is you got teed up. You got like a meatball to where you could have just destroyed Burton, spoke badly on everybody, aired him out, and you did it like a gentleman. And just freaking did it really graciously, and then to not get a text back and say thanks, and to get kicked out of the circle, and then everybody just be like, okay, Zak's out of the circle now. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, because once you're out of that circle and not getting on, you're not on their payroll anymore. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and that was
Everyone's
tough.
moving on.
You're traveling the world with them a few weeks before, and then
Then
all of a sudden
it's
you're
like,
just,
oh, cool. Like I do an
Zak who?
interview about you guys and say nothing but nice things and not one text.
yeah.
That it was, dude. It's hard. I mean,
That's got to be brutal. And you bounced back well, but I think the subject you're talking about there that's really cool is a lot of people don't realize that at the end of the day, when you ride for a company like Burton or any big company for that matter, there's going to be a marketing meeting with a bunch of dudes going through a PowerPoint presentation, looking at what things you did that are marketable for this company and like your stats and your numbers. And it's crazy how like a lot of times you're just a replaceable stat.
And that's all,
especially for Burton, you know.
And I think action sports has a really hard time understanding that. At the end of the day, like your boss, your team manager, that's your boy, has a boss.
Yeah.
That boss has a boss, and they sit in a room and write names on whiteboards with your number that you're pulling from their company.
Your budgie.
And they're like, okay, well, we need to make cuts. Like, so, you know, it's like you're like, at the end of the day, you might like your name's gonna come up on that. And I think people have a hard time like swallowing that.
Straight up. Of course.
And it's just the realness of how it is.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, there's so many people who just roast companies for that reason.
Yeah.
Well,
Seemed like Blotto always had your back, which is tight.
No, Blotto always had my back. And like, you know, Blotto was never in the position to be like, he never handled the business side of things for me. Like Blotto to this day is my boy. Like, I mean, I don't see him.
At that point.
Yeah, like I don't see him as much now, but like him and I had so many good times together.
I bet.
You know, I'm not like trying to like say everyone that was working for Burton should have texted me and I like want this like sympathy, like, like woe is me, like I'm so sad. You know, but at least like something, like you know,
I
like
feel you, dude. I agree.
But you know, the cool thing is like the snowboard community. A lot of the people in the snowboard community reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, like, dude, your interview was insane. Like, you had an opportunity to go in on these people, like 95% of riders have before you, and you said good things."
Yeah, that's a boss move.
Yeah, that's a big dog move.
I'll tell you what, we're moving along pretty quickly, and we almost skipped over one of our favorite segments, huh, E-Stone?
We almost missed it.
Do you know what this segment is called?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Do you know what this segment is?
I think I have an idea.
Name that video.
We're going to take you away to name that video part. Okay, here we go.
So bad.
Okay, so Hailstorm, the first one is for you.
Okay.
And the second one is for the viewers, listeners. And we're just going to jump right into it. This is a classic. Give you a little hint.
Oh, this one's easy, dude.
JP Walker.
Okay, wow.
Teed him up.
I'll tell you what.
I was a little worried. I was like,
about
I'm so bad at
his
this
snowboard
stuff.
IQ is like terrible. So I
Meyer must have really
know what we
liked
got
you
for
or
him?
something,
You know,
dude.
no, I made that.
you did.
I came up with that one. What we got for him as a prize is a beautiful bomb hole T-shirt available at bombhole.com if you're interested in some merch. And Hailstorm, congratulations.
I love merch. You know,
he's been getting proddy since a young age.
I'll take all. Well, not these days. I'll take all the free stuff I can get. The sponsor list is a little slim, you know.
The box is slowed down a little bit. Yeah. All right, I don't want you guys to say this one if you know it, so just keep that in mind. This is for the listeners. Okay, here we go, folks. It's a quick one, but I bet a lot of people know that. I knew it as soon as it hit. It's a great one. If you know what it is, comment on the Instagram. The post related to Hale's podcast, the first post. And if you know it, first comment will get you up a little prize pack. Huh, buds?
Yeah, nice little prize.
Swipe up, like, subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and we're
Comment.
God, I love naming that video part.
I thought we were gonna miss it this episode.
Yes. Yeah, and then I think it's kind of cool how there was almost like a rebirth of Hale after Burton, the child-born birth. Like, it was a cool transition there.
What year did you leave Burton?
Yeah, it's 2016, and then that winter, I mean, so all that happened, and then obviously, like, I had the whole summer and fall to think about, like, okay, well, what do I do, you know? Like, because before it was like, hey, you're going to go here, do this, do that, film for this, and go. You know, and I was like, that was my winter, and I was like, okay, this is all on me right now. And then that was the year Lick the Cat made Vody.
Oh, yeah, video of the year.
So I was like, dude, this is so dope. Like, I'm going to get to film with my friends all winter. Like, this, I love this. Like, okay, I got a project to do. Like, I'm going to travel with my best friends, and we're going to go to all this stuff. And, dude, it was like the funnest year I've ever had filming because we did whatever we wanted. Had the best premiere tour I've ever been on. I mean, our Lick the Cat premiere tour was better than the Burton ones, and we had probably that much money to do it.
1/50 of the budget.
I mean, yeah, like Skull Candy gave us an RV.
Yeah.
And we just drove around.
That's awesome.
Dude, it was so fun.
You know what? I gotta tell you, from my perspective as a person that doesn't drink anymore, I am vicariously living through you. It is like one of my, because I see a lot of people and they're like partying, they're going to like these like hipster bars like Twilight in Salt Lake and whatnot. And I see you out there and it's like you and Sage, like monster party, like you're shitting your pants in front of Rob Gronkowski. Like it's like, and I'm just like, as like a spectator, I'm just like, yes, somebody is doing it, like for the people that can't. And I love it, dude.
I feel the same way, man. I look at what goes on and listen to the stories, and I'm just like, dude, that's what's up. This guy's living the life.
Yeah, I mean, you have these opportunities to like do this stuff. It's like you're gonna do it.
You're always at really cool things. It seems like cool
and
events.
I feel like that definitely too puts like a bit of stereotype on me for people to think it's like, oh, like, you know, Zach just parties all the time and does all this stuff. But it's like, if you get the opportunity to go to this stuff, anyone's gonna take it.
Yeah.
Like I would hands down any day go to some bougie club and drink for free and have the time of my life than like go to some like weird dive bar and like spend a bunch of money and then go home. Like,
that affects your core score though, bro. The core score. Let's talk core score. They're like, oh, he's wearing a monster scratch. He's whack.
Dude, at the end of the day, like I could care less about my core score. Like,
well, fuck your core score. When like it's like I would much rather be hanging out with Rob Gronkowski from the NFL, shitting my pants like you're doing. Like, is that what happened? What happened?
That's a crazy story. Like, that's honestly probably one of my best party stories I've ever had. It was.
Let's get into it.
It was last.
This is what we're doing.
Let's dive in.
It was last. I mean, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I'll tell this story. And so we go to Vegas. It was Vegas Supercross Finals. In Monsters, the headlining sponsor, the Monster Energy AMA Supercross. You know, so it's like they want us to come out, support Monster, party with them, have all this fun. And Sage and I are like, we always go to the Monster parties because it's like insane. It's the best time ever. And so we were in Mammoth. We drive down to Vegas, get to Vegas, immediately just start. You know, you roll into Vegas, it's like you're hammering beers. You're waiting in line to check into your like hotel room. You're just taking shots. Like you're like, this is it. Like white girl spring break. Like, and
they roll the red carpet out for that too.
Oh yeah, it's like, dude, I mean, you don't pull your wallet out once, but then have like the most exclusive time you've had. And yeah, so we go to the Monster party all night at the club. I get in my boxers, get in the pool. Like I'm that guy all wet, shaking my hair everywhere, shotgunning beers.
Partying like a rock star.
Yeah, it's like, and then next to us is like two booths down, like Gronk, and then all the skaters are in this one, and then all the like people, like, it's like they kind of separate all the athletes, but then for some reason, everyone kind of like, I don't know what it is, like, because we just party and have fun, so our booth kind of is like the one to like go off a little bit,
nice.
So like we feel cool when I'm drinking. I'm like gone at this point. And then time goes on late in the night. Next thing you know, I'm like sitting around a table. I'm like, okay, I'm with Rob Gronkowski, his bodyguard, his dad, his brother, a couple VPs from Monster, and then me. I'm like, I don't. And then like, I think I was with like two of my friends that were girls too at the time. And I think like they didn't have any girls with them, so it's like I kind of like looked cool because I was like the guy with like girls and so we're all sitting around and I don't know what happened, just lost all motor function or something, but it's like I go to like kind of like do the sneak fart, like at the bar, and, like we're all sitting at that table and I fully just shit my pants.
Holy hell!
We're not talking a shart. We're talking you shit your pants fully.
I mean, it wasn't a solid one, but it was like mud. But it was like pants full of shit.
Yeah, you shit your pants.
Like it wasn't like, oh, I could go to the bathroom, kind of wipe my butt, play this one off. It was like there's shit.
That's what we call Code Brown scenario.
And I'm like looking around, I'm like, there is no way this just happened. Like, it's like 5 a.m. So I'm like, hey, what do I do? Like, I gotta play this off, So I just get up really quick, don't say anything, run up to my hotel room, take my boxers off, throw my shit boxers in the corner, put my pants back on, walk back downstairs, look to the left, see outside, broad daylight. I'm like, nice. I'm like, then I go back and then have a few more drinks at that, dude. I want to say it was like 7:30 in the morning. And then whatever, go back to my hotel room. And the story gets more insane. Wake up at like, I don't know, 3 in the afternoon, dead. Sage.
Vegas style.
Yeah, Sage and our friends were in the lobby. And they almost like called because they were like worried that I was like, wasn't there. So then I roll downstairs. And then Sage and them all, they're drinking bloodies, having like breakfast at 3, Vegas style. And and I'm like, dude, I'm dead. Like, I'm done. And Sage's like, no, drink this. Hands me this juice. And I think it's just orange juice, but it's orange juice. It's a screwdriver.
Yep.
Dumped vodka in it. So I just go to chug it. I'm like, oh God. In the middle of this restaurant in Vegas, like lobby, like I'm like, oh, I got water mouth. This is coming up. I'm done. Where do I go? I get out of the booth. I'm running around trying to find a trash can or something. And it's like right when the Palms opened, and it's like the Palms was like the hot, like where all the influencers went. And there was this table of like 20, like, blonde, brunette influencer girls. And I just projectile vomit, like middle of the restaurant. Because I couldn't find anywhere because there's no bath. Like the bathrooms are like in weird spots.
Yeah, they're always like that.
No trash can. So then like I go to like cover my face with my shirt, puking out of my shirt. Like I don't know what to do. I'm looking around, so I just run back up to the hotel room, take my shirt off, throw my puke shirt next to my shit boxers, put a shirt back on.
A lot of bodily fluids.
Put my shirt back on, walk back downstairs, start drinking, have another full day, and we go to a pool party that day, and then I was just goon by yacht at that point too, and then something happened, like there was like glass where the pool is, and I like put my ass cheeks on the glass, and I was like spreading my cheeks over the glass, but it's like everyone below at the dance thing could look up and see, so I'm like spreading sphincter, like,
oh God,
like I'm
pink guy scenario,
but I'm in like my jeans, like in the pool, at that point, and so I get handcuffed, dragged out. 86 from the Palms for life.
Wow,
like, you're done. Like
You're fired.
Like you can't come back, and then fall asleep, wake up, Sage and I drive back to Mammoth, and I'm like, dude, I haven't eaten a meal since I've got here. Like 48 hours, no food, just alcohol. And like I was like in the car shaking, and like driving back to Mammoth, and I was like, I'm done. Go to Mammoth for this Red Bull event. It was like the Red Bull Recharge, like a Ben Ferguson, Mark McMorris thing.
Oh, okay.
And so we go to this Mammoth event straight off of like everyone watching our Instagram stories. Like, oh my God.
You guys were killing it.
Yeah, where are these guys right now? And then into the shoot in Mammoth that I wasn't even invited to in the beginning, but like Sage was invited. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll go. And like, whatever, I'll figure it out,
Yeah.
So what they did was they separated teams. So it was like a Ben Ferguson team, a Mark McMorris team, and whatever. So then you made a video. It was a video contest, made a video, put it out. Ben's like, hey, you're on our team. And I was like, okay, dope, straight off of partying. And then we ended up winning the video contest.
I remember seeing that sick trick you did. That was dope.
Wall ride derail?
Yeah, the wall ride derail. And then so they play. So how it was judged was T. Rice was judging the video contest via FaceTime. And then our video wins, and I get the ender clip in this video. And then T. Rice is like, and Hale, man, that last clip was so sick. And in my head, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, you know, like I just like, okay, like check the list, like just shit my pants in front of Rob Gronkowski. I'm trying to hit like 80-foot park jumps with Mark McMorris, Sebe, Sage, like way out of my league.
Yeah.
And then the one rail feature there, I kind of tee it up and then ended up T. Ricky giving me props at the end of the day.
That's called being on a wave right there. Dude. You just caught a hell of a wave.
All started with you shitting your pants. You know, I once read an article about Matthew McConaughey. He said, never trust anyone who doesn't have a good shit your pants story.
Yeah.
Because that means they're a liar.
That's true. You can't go through your life without shitting your pants.
I mean, I tell that story to so many people. I'm like, can't believe you just told us that story.
Dude, that's
Funny.
the coolest
It's like,
thing about you, though, is the way you can go to a park shoot like that and do your thing, but then also go to the streets. And
I want to
you're
touch
diverse, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've always like just wanted to be able to snowboard on everything. So I've definitely like, it's hard though, like filming in the streets all year. And then going to these park shoots in spring with all these guys who have been riding X Games and US Open all winter.
Yeah, your boys are like the best.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you know, and then I'm like standing up there, look left, Mark, look right, like Seb Toots, like look behind. You know, I'm like, I mean, this is what you guys do, you know?
When you get in there, Hailstorm, we got to talk New Zealand, dude. I love that you're still going to New Zealand early season. And for Jossie's contest, can you grab the fitted?
Yeah, this is actually why you asked me to. Texted me and said, bring trinkets. I'm like, I don't have fucking trinkets.
This guy, he's riding with the big dogs over in New Zealand, and
this hat
puts on this monster hat, like the biggest asshole hat of all time. That thing's incredible.
You know, backwards, like deep. Everyone started calling me deep dish because it was like, you know, I gotta throw this thing on.
Throw it on. That thing is like, you know,
deep
if you're
dish.
like, I'm literally like this, you know, but then also,
Oh, no, you tuck
also
the ears in?
had these sunglasses.
Look at the kid.
You know,
You
so
gotta
I'm
tuck the
like,
ears
you know,
in?
so I'm like up at this monster event in New Zealand, like deep dish, dude.
Yeah, respect.
You know, and
Wow.
core score plummeting right now, mind you.
yeah, I mean,
Should be skyrocketing.
It should be skyrocketing.
It should be skyrocketing.
I mean, dude, yeah, at the end of the day, core score has always been plummeting. Core score doesn't like get you very far.
Truth. Core score doesn't help with the mortgage payments.
Truth.
No, you know, so I'm up there and like, you know, everyone's chucking dick, and I'm like, I think this is my time. You know, Sage, like Sage has been hyping up this, like, you're doing a double cork when you're down there. You're doing a double cork all summer. And that was like our party summer too, where it was like,
You guys were gods. You were gods.
That was kind of, you know, because him and I both like were freshly single at that time to like, sorry to kind of get off the subject, but be freshly single with your best friend at the same time for the
that's
summer
dope.
is insane.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I thought you guys just planned that. You're always seem to be making moves together like that.
yeah, I don't know how, I mean,
Just happened.
World of Wines.
I mean, dude, Sage is honestly like, I mean, he's my brother. Like, he's more than my friend. Like, I don't know. I mean, but so as I was down there, you know, and I'm like, and I just remember rolling into this big air jump, and the jump was like 100 feet. You know,
Oh,
it was
geez.
literally,
It was a
like
jacker.
It was the one at Cardrona where like they do all the contests on, and there's been all these photos of people on it, and I'm like up there, I'm like deep dish. I'm like, we had all this
Monster
momentum.
hat.
No,
You were
no,
wearing that deep dish hat?
yeah,
We're the deep dish.
we had all this momentum going, and then like that, like we were partying down there, and then my nickname was like Gator, and I had this like I had like this blown out eye vessel from throwing up, you know. So like I'm like, and I had a mohawk, or no, I had cornrows at the time, you know. So I'm like blown eye vessel, cornrows, you know, rolling into this contest.
Asshole monster hat.
Yeah, rolling into this contest snowboard scene down there where everyone's very like, you know, suit and tied, and it's like cornrowed Hale rolls in. You know, like,
Wow.
like I got this. Roll in. I think it took me like 5 tries, but dude, just the feeling of like not hitting a park jump for a while, and then just like, wait, shoulder, you know. And I remember I landed one, and I just landed, put my hands up, and just rode straight to the bar. I was like, I'm done.
Back 10 Dubsky, check. We're going to the bar.
You know, it's like, in that whole trip, it was like, dude, and I got an award for it. It was like, Jossie gave me like an award at the award show. It was like, and Hale did his first double cork.
So sick.
Dude, that's insane.
That's what's so cool too, is like, you know, really at the end of the day, you know, you got knocked on your ass with the Burton thing, and then it seems, you know, obviously if anybody was to like want to player hate on you, when you put out Trash, it's over. Like, it's better than all the street parts.
Trash was dope.
Like, it's an insane part. It's like, if you're a Hale hater, you just have to shut the fuck up at that point, because dude, that part's incredible. What was your mentality going to that?
I mean, definitely, dude, it might have been the double cork, to be honest.
Yeah, you just had momentum. You had that momentum.
Like I did the double cork, and I was like, okay, like, I still got it.
Yeah.
But no, going into that winter, like we did the LTC thing, and like going into that winter, I was like, oh no, like what am I gonna do? Like don't really have not very many sponsors. Still don't have a board sponsor. Still don't have an outerwear sponsor. Not like Monster's always had my back. Spice, Skull Candy for like buying me into movies. I'm like, oh god, like I don't know what to do. And then it was kind of funny. Germ was like, hey, why don't you do something like Method Mag in Europe? I'm like, that's a good idea. And then kind of talked for a while, and then like it was January, and still nothing was kind of like going on. I was like, oh no, like who knows what's gonna happen? Okay, I'm just gonna go to Europe. I'm gonna go film. Like I'm gonna go to Europe for a couple months and just go film. Like, and then so the ball started rolling on filming, and then it came together where it was like, hey, okay, we have money, we have support, we're gonna like start making a project. And I was like, okay, like I want this video to like, I want to prove to myself that I could put something out that I want people to like. Like I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it, that I could like put out a video project that people kind of stepped back and were like, oh, whoa, like, the whole Burton thing happened, and then it was like, okay, Zak's putting out stuff. And that was my mentality, honestly, with it, though, was like, I just want to go have fun and do whatever I want all winter, because I've never been able to do that. And that's
because you were freshly single as well, so you're able to go to like Europe for a long time.
And that was my
girlfriend,
first winter where I was single, and I was like, you know what, I could go to Helsinki for 2 months and have the time of my life and film snowboard clips.
You do whatever you wanted, right?
Yeah.
There was
being in Helsinki
stuff
single
we
is
can't get
fun.
into, or I don't know if we can or can't. But it seems like, let's just say, from the nightlife, your confidence carried over to your riding.
Yeah, I mean,
to put it
I
nicely.
I was living that dream. It was like I'm filming clips I love. I'm partying, like I'm in Europe. Like I don't have to go home. I can do whatever, and I'm still very fortunate to like have that opportunity, even without Burton, to like be able to do that. And so that was my mentality, and it's kind of just played out like no plan, and then.
You said one of my favorite things I've heard somebody say that really stuck with me. I remember when we were filming together for that project.
Yep.
And you were killing it. And I think you said, like, it's time. And when my back's against the wall, I do my best.
I noticed it the last couple of years. Like, when my back is against the wall, like, I know that, like, what I need to do, and, like, I will get it done. Like, I will achieve the goal that I need to achieve. And that was my goal in my head, was, like, I want to put something out that I'm proud of. And that's all I wanted to do. I didn't care what came out of it. I didn't care if I got nothing out of it. Like, I just wanted to like put something out that I knew I didn't leave anything on the table. And honestly, like being with like you and like Harrison, it was like so comforting to like be around my friends that like had confidence in me, that knew I could snowboard like that. Because I think your snowboarding is definitely limited to the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at like some video parts people put out when they're not snowboarding with their friends, and it hurts them a lot. Like it hurts their snowboarding, it hurts their confidence. And I just had so much confidence with you guys, because I would roll up to something and be like, like you were there for that like drop off the roof to like front board thing I did. And, it was like a joke at first. Like, we should hit that. I was like, like, fuck it, I'm going to hit it. But then like having you and Harrison down there being like, dude, you got it. And I was like, I remember I just wanted to drop 50 today. And I was like, I feel like we need to do more. And then did a board side, and I was like, I feel like I could front board. And I remember like you being like, dude, you've been front boarding since you were a fetus.
Probably what I said.
Yeah, like something like that. And like I did.
I think you front boarded the umbilical cord on the way out.
But just having that confidence, like filming, is like so important, I think. And honestly, like I give you and Harrison like a lot of credit for like my confidence snowboarding that year, like those trips, because I was just able to like be like, damn, like these guys believe in me, so like I'm believing in myself more. Like I could do this. And I'm like forever grateful for that.
I'll tell you,
awesome.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot. And we could see you were in that window of like that I always talk about, the snowball of confidence, but you're just every day you were getting a clip and just building on that. And then the next day you get a clip. And I don't know, it feels cool. And it's always been this mentality. It's not about, like, I've had a lot of shine in my life, but it's always nice to take a step back and help other people and have the mentality, if one guy gets a shot, we all get a shot, and working together for like a project, or wanting to help you for your project. It feels good sometimes to be like, all right, this dude's time to shine. Let's make sure he gets the clips.
It was like us together,
Yeah,
it's not like you're fun. Like trying to like, we're not like on the same team trying to fight, back to the broken pool stick thing, trying to fight
Burton,
for a spot.
True,
it's like,
true, yeah.
It's like we're just snowboarding, having fun, and like I'm hopefully gonna make this video project that who knows if it's gonna come out, you know, like.
And that was it was received well, right?
So many people said so many good things about it, and like I'm so grateful about that too, you know, because it was this project that I didn't know what was really going to happen. I just snowboarded, came up with like some name called Trash.
Great name.
You know, and like I wasn't even sure about the name, you know, because it's like, oh god, it's gonna be so easy for people to hate on this, you know. It's like, oh well, that's funny, it's called Trash because it is trash, you know. But then Sage was the one that was like, dude, if you're so hyped on your footage, call it Trash.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm calling it Trash.
Yeah, that was an incredible part, and it seems like you've kind of just been building on that, you know, to keep it moving. But this year, you know, you did the X Games Real Snow, and that was incredible. How did that end up?
Yeah, now like I don't know, rolling off of Trash into that, you know, I had a bunch of confidence. Like I was like, I'm getting to snowboard how I want. Like I feel good, I'm healthy, and then I got to do X Games Real Snow, and you know, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And it's kind of crazy because I feel like some people turn that opportunity down, which I mean, I get it, but you know, your core is core. But at the end of the day, it's like you have sponsors and they want you to do the X Games. The X Games is the biggest platform besides the Olympics for snowboarding and street snowboarding. Like that is the biggest platform for street snowboarding to get to the general public, because a lot of people don't understand what we do. I try to explain it and they're like, oh, I don't get it. You know, when it's like, you know, but then like people could watch ESPN and see real street and be like, oh, okay, I get it now.
They explain it.
And technically you get a medal, so you can say
I'm an X Games medalist.
Yeah.
So what did you get there? Let's see this.
Yeah, bro, bring that.
How'd you do? First of all, what'd you get?
Got silver. Second. It's not gold like yours.
Second. Yeah, Chris,
he's got a gold.
One, right?
Oh, you only got silver, huh? Yeah? Let me see what I got here. Oh, this is actually what the gold looks like.
Yeah.
Well, yours has a little duct tape on it. Eh?
Yeah, I actually broke it partying. I actually on this garage floor. It cracked.
Is that actually gold and silver? These things?
I mean,
plated. Look at you guys. A couple of.
I gotta like
I might wear this.
A couple of X Games medalists here. I'm still kind of waiting for like my night out at the bar with this thing and not take it off.
Get a medal, dude.
I've definitely done that. If you're gonna do that, hit up Matty Moe and go to the club. I had the night of my life.
You wore yours out.
He was he was playing the year I won. I remember I went out. I think it was for my birthday, and he was playing "All I Do Is Win" by DJ Khaled, and I had my medal in the club like a complete asshole. It was
man. Where were you?
Time of my life though. It was like one of those clubs downtown in Salt Lake.
That's so
all I do
sick,
is win,
bro.
win, no matter what.
Stand up.
He's like hitting air horns every 2 seconds.
Well, dude, that's like, it's funny because like Sage and I were talking about like with like we were hyping you up and we're like, dude, that's why like Chris has done so well in his career, because he doesn't care what people think. Like seriously, I mean, like you put out like dude, it's like you wear like Patriots jersey. Snowboarding, you know,
most hated team in all sports.
You know, and you just have such a personality on TV that people could relate to, and that's like something I think is really important. Is that actually like you're so relatable and like it shows.
When he's passionate about what he likes,
He's
so it's
passionate
like if you don't
about
like it, whatever, fuck you. But this is what I like, and that's me.
Yeah, and that's why you've done so well in your career. And I feel like people kind of forget to be themselves.
And you are prime example of that. You've been yourself, you're unapologetically yourself, and I feel like you're comfortable in your own skin, where a lot of people are trying to fit into this little box.
They don't know what their skin needs to be like.
Yeah, they're ever changing.
Change it.
It's like
trend skin.
Yeah,
for the course
trend skin.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everyone tries to fit in and like be this person that's like relevant to like 100 people.
Yeah,
you know? It doesn't help anything.
Yeah, straight up.
As we're talking like this.
Yeah,
you guys are wearing your medals.
I know yours kind of like. It
I
looks
need to get a medal.
You want to run this thing for a bit?
Here, put this one on too.
Let's put both of these things on.
Where are my medals at?
It looks like they kind of.
Don't drop it. It's glass. It's glass.
It's glass, bro.
It looks like they kind of downgraded on mine. As yours went on, yours is pretty nice.
This is what should be up, man. Win, 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 win. That's what's up. Where's Matty Mo? Can we get Matty Mo?
That's how we do it.
Ice down medallion, son.
Well, let's talk.
This is what's up.
Like rolling into real snow, I just like was like, okay, you know what? Like I snowboard my best when I do what I want.
Yeah,
and that's what I did. Like coming into the winter, I was like, I'm gonna snowboard exactly how I did last year. X Games, no X Games, exactly how I want to snowboard. I'm not gonna be pressured to hit anything I don't want to hit. I'm not gonna like try to like be this cool guy snowboarder and hit things that are like not that cool. You know, I'm just like I like going fast. I like hitting big things, and I like scaring myself. It worked. I mean, it's like I filmed some of the best clips I've ever filmed my entire life, and
you should be super proud of that part.
Yeah,
you know, I'm proud. Like I'm hyped that like how well it was received too. You know?
People said you had that perfect balance of what X Games wants and what a rail rider wants to see, and that was really cool.
And like just filming with Meyer too, it's like Meyer's
He's the realist.
He's the guy.
Shout out to Meyer.
Dope.
And that's the thing is Meyer's had my back for so long, and like being able to film with him, it's like he knew what I was capable of doing, and I wanted him to do well too in the contest because he gets a medal too.
He got a medal?
Yeah, he got a medal.
Oh my god!
But like
that's
I
so
know
sick.
like Meyer can have a lot of X Games medals because he is one of the best filmer and editors around,
and humans.
Yeah, and human. It's just like he's the guy, and I was so lucky to be with him. And shout out Meyer, like thank you so much for like doing that with me. Like we had such a good time, and like you pushed me, and like if I did something that was kind of not good, you're like,
he's not gonna sugarcoat it.
Maybe you should do it again. Like
He would tell you what's up.
Yeah, and like I definitely fought back on a few things, and like I definitely put a couple things in there that are a little questionable. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, you spend 10 hours on a trick. It's like, God, like I'm over it. I'm taking that one. I'm done.
Let's talk about
let's talk
the
about
debacle.
the rocks.
There's a rock debacle. Explain the debacle because
it's the best. It's the funniest debacle. Like, so it was the first spot of the year. I roll, go to Minnesota, hit the triple kink. It was like the opening shot, right? Like backlip that triple kink. It's a famous rail. A bunch of people have hit it. Brett Kulas back when 80'd onto it. Like Ethan Dice 50-50'd it and standing sideways. There's been a lot of tricks. Cooper front boarded it 2 years ago now. But so I'm like hitting it. All right, I roll up to it, look at it. I'm like, okay, there's 3 inches of snow in Minnesota. It's December. And I'm like, okay, there's these gnarly boulders on the side of it, like huge boulders that aren't an issue in the middle of the winter because everyone covers them up anyways. So it's like
there's 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, and I looked at it and I was like, hey, like maybe can I cover these up? And then I kind of like moved them around. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm moving them. Like I want to backlip this thing. Like I don't want to hit my head on a rock for it's like it's taking an unnecessary risk. It's like risk over rewards. Like why wouldn't you move these?
No big.
People cover them anyways. It's not like I didn't do something like crazy weird. But anyway, so moved the rocks, moved them over. Had an all day battle. I was exhausted. At the end of the day, I was with a bunch of people in Minnesota. And I was like, I should probably like move these rocks back, to be respectful. Cause I am like that guy. Like I clean my stuff up. Like I don't want to leave things a mess cause someone has to clean it up at the end of the day. Someone has to repaint that. Someone has to do this,
yeah.
And then everyone's over it. Like, dude, like just leave the rocks. It's a dirt hill. Like whatever. It's gonna
everyone
snow.
Told you to leave the rocks.
Yeah, it's like everyone was in agreement. Like fine, leave the rocks, clean all the snow up, clean the lip up, unshovel the stairs. It's going to be winter. It's going to snow. They're going to be covered.
Yep.
It literally rocks 8 inches over.
Yep.
It's not a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then winter's going on. I'm filming, and then all of a sudden I like look at Instagram, and I get this tag from some fucking snowboard meme account, like some whack snowboard meme account that was like, "What's up with this, Zak Hale? Don't clean up your shit." It's like, and then someone else had hit the rail after me, so they left their lip set up, and then obviously the rocks were still there.
Oh no.
And it's like, it's people like you that like get snowboarding banned from these places, and it's like, oh, can't wait for like another rail to be knobbed, and then obviously like I feel like people love my entire snowboard career. I feel like people just love to hate on me.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. I mean, I'm a very confident person. Like I could give a shit less what someone says about me over like somewhere else. It's like, dude, you're sitting on your phone, like finding a reason to hate for no reason.
Yeah.
But, so anyways, and then there's this comment thread just goes, it's like, and obviously the snowboard meme page, this kid, it's like some like probably kid sitting in his mom's basement. It's like, oh, I'm getting so much attention.
Yeah, he was loving it. I bet.
It's like, and it's like some people, he's probably like,
fuck him.
Yeah, it's like,
crabs.
I mean, even like giving him, I hate giving him attention right now. Like,
yeah,
because it's like so pointless. But, and this comment thread starts coming up, and like people start commenting the stuff that I thought were my friends, and I see this stuff,
really?
and I'm like, dude, like what? Okay, like that sucks. Like, it's like we were cool, and now
like
you just like
homies.
go off. I mean, they weren't like my actual homies, but like they're cool to my face.
Yeah,
they just go off on this comment thread, and I'm just like, dude, like it's and honestly, it kind of sucks at the same time because it's like I feel like I've. Like with the winter before, I've tried so hard to get the stereotype off my back.
The core score is going down, bro. Yeah, core score.
But dude, sometimes it gets to you though. Like,
I'll tell you what, you're doing you, and that's fucking rare in this day and age.
Cool.
You're actually Zak Hale. A lot of people out there are just trying to be the fucking next trendy dude, And the thing that I think's like, when I hear that, it's just like, the thing I'm just sick of is just outrage culture. It's like these people, they're not gonna post excited, oh, look at Zak Hale's new part. Holy shit, he did all this crazy shit. Oh, he moved some rocks. Let me get an outrage culture. Let me fucking type into my keyboard. Let me fuel the hate. It's like they're down to, burn whoever at the stake. They can come together for that, but they can't come together positively, and it's just crabs in a bucket. It's just crabs in a bucket pulling each other down. They're not feeling good. They're going to pull you down. You just got to keep doing you, dude. You're fucking killing it. Don't worry about those dudes.
Yeah. Trying to film real snow and like have way other things going on in my life. It's like water heater at one of my houses goes out in January and I need to like get that fixed and like looking at getting worked up about like some kid commenting about me moving rocks over. And it's like, if that's the only thing you could hate on me in that video part for is moving those rocks, then so be it. Because guaranteed every single one of those people in that comment thread has changed a spot to make it rideable.
Everybody does.
If it's cutting, so you're not going to cut a branch out of a tree?
Yeah.
Same thing. You're not like, how many fences have you cut? How many chains have you cut? How many support beams have you cut out of rails?
Ruined.
It's
yeah.
like, completely like vandalism.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's part of the game.
You're going to hate on me for like moving some boulders over.
You
like,
think it's because people just like to hate on you and you don't know why? It's just whatever it is.
I mean, I think I just have that stereotype as like that young Burton kid making money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've definitely tried to like work that off my back because I know I was that person. It's hard not to be that person, but like, I've definitely tried to like, I'm older. I'm 27. I've mellowed out a lot. Like, I don't want to be that person, So it's like, but yeah, and I feel like people kind of just like hold on to that. And Meyer and I talked about it all winter too. Cause I'm like, dude, why does everyone like to hate on me?
Yeah,
so
you know what though?
You can take it
for
though.
what it is at the end of the day, most people are so sensitive. You always you take it so well when people give you shit. And that's a fucking admirable trait, like younger brother syndrome, I call it, when you're used to getting beat up your whole life.
Oh yeah, I I have 3 older brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
and so
you can hang.
You can hang. And a lot of people are so sensitive, dude. And so at the end of the day, you got to just like, we're talking about something we shouldn't even be wasting our breath on, to be honest, because what you're doing, like, let's talk about the fucking part, dude. It's insane. Like,
that part
you got a goddamn
sick,
X Games silver medal against the heavy hitters, dude. It's like insane. You should be so proud of that.
No, I'm so stoked about that. Like, that was another thing. When going to real snow, I was like, I just want to put out something that I'm proud of, and I didn't leave anything on the table. And like, dude, Meyer and I grinded.
You guys
like,
grinded
3 months of just like nonstop. Like, I was so beat up after, and like the snow conditions this year were terrible.
They were awful.
And the
it was a rough year.
It was so bad. Like, there was no snow anywhere. Like, we kept having to go back to these places that are just getting completely shit all over.
Yeah, just beat down.
Yeah, and then like the whole coronavirus started happening, and it was a tough winter. But like, dude, we put it together. We did it, and like, I'm so thankful to like walk out with a medal. Like, I don't care what medal it is. Like, I'm just hyped to place. And like, dude, Renee's part, like,
you can't hate on that Renee part. It's incredible.
Visually stimulating. Like, I'm a photographer. I watch that and I'm just like, dude, this would have loved to shoot that. Would have loved to shoot that. Same with a lot of stuff you did too, though.
And like, dude,
and you shot some big dog stuff.
And that's the type of snowboarding I like to do. Like, I like to hit big things. I don't like to hit like this. Like, I feel like there's a trend in snowboarding right now where it's like super mini golf stuff.
Yeah.
Like scare yourself. Like,
would you describe it as a big bank take little bank situation?
Definitely no big bank around here. might be little bank trying to fight for big bank. No, I don't know. You
want to go big, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
And
just say it.
No, yeah, I want to go big.
And as a photographer, I want to shoot that shit.
Like, I like scaring myself. Like, that's what I've always done.
Maybe that's another reason you get shit sometimes is some of these kids don't like to go big. They don't want to be forced to go big.
Because they want to do what's trendy. And it's like, God, it's like, dude, just be different a little bit. Like, there's a whole world of snowboarding out there. And I feel like snowboarding is so, like, it's just stuck right now.
Yeah.
It's like, get out of the core bubble. Like, be relevant
yourself.
To people, because that's what's going to help everyone in the core and outside of the core.
Well,
that's a whole other subject, but
we can't stay stuck here.
Yeah,
we need to move forward.
Obviously people fuck with you. Your gram slaps, dude.
Yeah,
people are down. That's a pretty good indicator. So,
well, and that's another thing. It's like people hate on the Instagram thing. It's like, that's what you get paid to do nowadays. True. I hate to say it, but sponsors look at those numbers and they're like,
it's very important.
What is this guy bring? We're paying him X amount of dollars. What is he bringing to the table? And it's like, if you're gonna get hated on for being like, oh hey, like check out this new snowboard that's out and I'm riding, like, it's awesome, and it's like, oh, you're gonna like post that,
yeah,
like oh, like That's how you get paid. It's your
Yeah.
job. You get a number put in front of you to just hit post on Instagram. Like, yeah, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
Would you rather work a 9 to 5 or work a shitty job or post this on Instagram? And if you want to work the shitty job, respect. But most people, given that opportunity, are going to post the thing on Instagram.
Yeah,
right?
and I feel like people hate on it because they've never had that opportunity, and it sucks. Like, it's annoying. Like, you're posting, like,
Yeah,
But
I mean,
at the end of the
Instagram
day-
sucks, but it is what it is.
I mean,
it's a
dude, it's
vehicle.
advertising.
Yeah, it's
now.
marketing, and
Yeah.
you're speaking to people. I enjoy some of the shit you post, the party stuff. And,
Party stuff, man.
yeah,
Keep
in the
posting
summer,
that.
yeah,
I
you
love
keep
watching
me alive
that.
in the
But
summer,
you
dude.
gotta
I'm
like
just like,
fill
this
it
is
in.
what's
You
up.
know?
If you could just exclusively post party stuff,
Yeah.
for me, that would
I
actually
like
be
to see
ideal.
where you're at, what you're doing, and be like, damn.
Dude, it's so funny. I mean, definitely, like, you post so much stuff and people see so much of your life and they think they know you, but at the end of the day, it's like people probably think all I do is like in the summer party and drink. You know, it's
what
like,
it
yeah,
seems like.
I just post that stuff. Like,
Outside looking in. that's-
Actually, you're like basically a slumlord
yeah,
fixing
like
water heaters.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like I'm over here like ripping up sprinkler systems and like, you know, and it's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna like go out on the weekend in these monster parties and get trashed and post about it. Like, you could be whoever you want on Instagram. You
yeah,
know?
really. You only show them the good moments or what the moments you want.
Yeah,
and control it.
That's just a whole thing too.
It's just good to clear the air, and like obviously you're one of the realest dudes that me and Stone know, you know. And
Yeah, I'm Team Hailstorm.
we're
over here.
fucking
I'm Team Hailstorm.
Yeah, two Hailstorm fans
Right
over
here.
here.
We
One
might
and
be your
two.
biggest fans.
And so yeah, big fan over here, long time listener, big time fan. But yeah, man, we're stoked we were able to have this conversation with you, and just keep doing what you're doing. Don't
Yeah.
listen to those fucking haters, man. Keep going. Team Hailstorm, throw this asshole fucking flex fit hat on and give her some hell. Keep it going.
I feel like the hate means you're doing something right,
Yep.
personally.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
like a good motto to live by, just in life in general. Just do you.
Do you.
Stay in your lane.
Do you stay in your lane? All right, it's been real, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week with another episode of The Bomb Hole. Over and out.